Dear friends, let me ask you a question. How do you see God? Do you see Him as a strict judge always ready to punish? Or do you see Him as a loving Father eager to forgive? This is an important question because how we see God affects the way we approach Him. Let me show you what I mean. In Psalms 32 verse 5, King David speaking, he says, I acknowledged my sin to you, he's speaking to God, and my iniquity I have not hidden. I said, I will confess my sins and transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Do you understand? David said to himself, I will acknowledge my sins before God. I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And then when he did, he said, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. There was something David knew about God. You've heard so many times that David was a man after God's own heart, right? David knew the heart of God, and so he was able to touch God's heart. Do you know the heart of God for you? David didn't run from God in shame. He ran to Him in honesty. And what did God do? He forgave him. This tells us that God is not waiting to condemn us. He is waiting to restore us. The word encourages us to boldly but humbly approach God's throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. Even when being faced with temptation, the temptation to sin, His grace helps us to live above this life of sin. So I do not only encourage you to confess your sins to God today, but to know Him, read your word, learn of God, for He is merciful and compassionate.